Hello students, today we will discuss the components of solar PV system. This is the basic uh, structure of that. Here there are two main components. The first one is this one, that is PV array, and the second one, except PV array and the load, the remaining part of the system, that is the charge controller, battery, inverter and distribution panel. Including these all, it is known as balance of system. So there are these two main components, and except this there is load if we consider off-grid solar PV system. So we will start from the off-grid solar system. We will discuss every component one by one. So the first component, that is PV array. So we will continue from PV array. This PV array modules are responsible for power generation. It is not only able to meet the load demand, but it also generates the power, and if that power is in excess, then the excess power can feed to the grid as well. So the PV array generates power for the load as well as to inject in the grid. The basic unit of PV array is solar cell, and the solar cells are connected to form the module, and which is further connected to other modules to form a PV array. So different modules are connected. This is one module, another module, and so on. The different modules are connected to form PV array. Okay, and there are different ways in which cells, modules and modules are connected to form array. So let us first consider when cells are connected in series. So we can have the series connected cells. So for that purpose, let us see we have what will happen to the array if the cells are connected in series. So this is one cell, another cell, consider three cells, and if they are connected in series like this, and if they are connected in series, then here the terminal voltage will be V, and if load is connected through this, then the current that is flowing in it is A, and for the series connection the characteristics will be somewhat, we'll see how it is. So we will consider the voltage output. We open circuit voltage from one cell is, for example, the characteristics for this is like this. Okay, and if we have connected two cells, then the output voltage will be this plus the output voltage of this. So voltage will be added as the number of unit is increased. So what will be current? In series connection, current remains same, voltage added up. So the current will remain same, however voltage will added up. And if we connect third unit, corresponding the current will remain same, and according to third connection of the cell, the output open circuit voltage will increase as it is shown here. So if we find if the cell are connected in series, then the characteristic changes like this. It means the current remains same, the open circuit voltage becomes in addition according to the number of solar cells connected in that. This is the steady state condition. Now consider parallel connection of cell. In that case, we have one cell, another, consider three cell here as well. Okay, now they are connected in parallel, they are not in series now. For that case, their current will be added up and the terminal voltage will remain same. And if we will add ammeter to measure the current, voltmeter to measure the terminal voltage, and the load is connected here, in that case we will find the characteristics will be somewhat V and I characteristics will be, this is one cell, another cell, third cell, open circuit voltage, short circuit current. If there is one cell, these two are not working, in that case the current of this and the terminal voltage of this will be there. So short circuit current and the terminal voltage approximately 0.6 volt will be there like this. This is short circuit one, there is only one unit, one cell is connected. And if there are two cells are connected in parallel, then the current of this and the current of this will be added up and the potential across the terminal will remain same. So it will remain same, the current will be added up and it will be 2 ISC. Okay, and third unit will be connected, corresponding it will be 3 ISC and so on. However, the terminal voltage, open circuit voltage at the terminal will remain same. So we find that if we have connected the cells in the series, the current will remain same, the output voltage will increase according to the number of the cells, and the parallel connection will increase the current level. However, output voltage will remain same. So from here, according to our requirement, we can connect the cells in series and parallel to find the required voltage and current level. So let us see how modules are formed. Now let us talk about module, where the modules are connected of the solar cell either in series, parallel, or series and parallel. So let us have when the cells are connected in series in modules, then what will be there. So this is one cell, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 cells and 9, 9, 9. There are 36 cells. So these cells are connected in series. And here it is connected like this, this, and from here at the end it is connected like this. It will form the series connection. Okay. Now at this terminal we will get one potential, one polarity, and here it will be positive polarity of the module. So as the cells are connected in series and there are 36 cells, so according to that, For example, consider the one cell first. Then for one cell we can see the open circuit voltage for a cell is equal to the 0.6. Let us consider. And the short circuit current for the cell is 5 ampere. 5 ampere. Let us consider this. Now if this module is there, in this case the total output voltage will be, so V open circuit voltage of this module will be how much? 36 into 0.6, as they are connected in series, and we have seen in the previous slide that the series connection will give the addition of the individual voltage as the net voltage. So the sum of 36 voltage, that is 36 times 0.6, will give us 21.6 volt. And similarly, the short circuit current of the module will be how much? It remains same if the cells are connected in series, so it will be 5 ampere. And from here, if we try to find the wattage of this module, then that will be VI, that is 21.6 into 5, that will be 108 watt. Okay. So this is the power rating of this module. Now let us consider the some changes in the cells connection in this module. So for that purpose, we consider two cells are connected in like this. So this is connected like this. So the series of these two and the series of these two both are connected in parallel. That is shown here. So for that case, let us try to find the rating of this this module. So for that purpose, for that connection, when two rows connected in parallel, here all cells are in series. And now if we consider two rows connected in parallel, okay, in one row there are 9, two rows up to here they are in series, and for this 18 is in series. So 18 and 18, two rows are there, 18 are connected in series and two individual are connected in parallel. So for open circuit voltage for this cell will remain as it is, because that is cell specification. And for the module in this connection will be, I have changed the connection in this to save the time. V open circuit voltage for the module for this configuration will be 18 times 0.6, that will be 10.8, just half of this, because there is 36, there is 18. And I short circuit of this module will be 5. This is 1, this is another unit, both are connected in parallel, so that will, there are two parallel connections. So for that it will give 10 ampere current. And if we talk about the power for this type of connection, then the power will be 10.8 times 10, that will be 108 watt. So what we find, the power remains same, however the connections of the cells in the module are different. So according to our load requirement, we will connect it in different configurations to find the power rating as well as the current and voltage requirement. Okay, so these all are about the PV array. Now we will talk about the different another parts of the solar PV system. So for PV array, we can say it is interconnection of the modules which supplies power to the required to the system based on its load condition or load requirement. So it supply power to the system according to its requirement. So second is battery bank. That is very important part for stand-alone PV system. So bank of battery, okay, battery bank. Battery bank, okay. Battery is the lifeline of the standalone system. We can say it increases the usability of the off-grid PV system. If we have to utilize the system or we have to get power from this system in the night time, then at that time there are no direct solar radiations at this. So it is not possible to generate power. In that condition, if we wish to increase the usability of the system, then battery bank is playing the important role there. So to increase the usability or the increase the time of operation for the this system, the battery bank is playing the important role. The third is the charge controller. Charge controller. Charge controller is responsible for assuring a smooth functioning of the battery. So we can write ensure a smooth functioning of the battery. So the charge controller should be of high quality that improves the working as well as life of our battery and hence our system, as it ensures the smooth functioning of battery. So it is playing very important role in our solar PV system to enhance the lifespan of our battery and hence our full system. So the quality of the charge controller is very important in our PV system. Now the next is stand-alone inverter. Stand-alone inverter. This inverter is responsible for converting DC power to AC power for AC load applications. So it is converting the power from DC to AC efficiently so that it can be the solar power can be utilized for AC loads as well, because the generation is in the form of DC. So it is playing an important role for different applications. And the next is the distribution panel. So that is very common. So combining all the distribution panel, stand-alone inverter, charge controller and battery bank together, all of them with their connections are known as balance of the system.